Hello everyone, this is Luxury PL38. Today I would like to do an update video on my 3 book tote from Dior. I realized that I had made this video earlier on. It was right in the beginning when I just first started YouTubing. However, I did not actually showcase all 3 of them at the same time. So I would like to do that, especially now that I do have a camera stand, and my earlier video was actually it wasn't professionally done, and there are a lot of movements because I was holding the camera. But now that I do have the camera stand, I would like to update the video and showcase my entire book tote collections from Dior. It's not much, I've only have 3, but as you can see from the camera at the moment, so I'm just gonna zoom out. So those 3 are my book tote from Dior, and I'm gonna zoom back in. So this is the only time I'm gonna do that, so I do apologize. And I'm gonna bend down here, and this is the focus. So I'm gonna slowly showcase one by one. And also I do have the smaller book tote, so I can easily do a comparison to the bigger one. So this is the Monogram book tote in the normal, well, the regular size. It doesn't get much bigger than this, so this is the larger size that you can have. It is actually the same size as the Louis Vuitton on the go, the bigger one. And for those that are more familiar with Louis Vuitton on the go, it is the same size pretty much, the bigger versions of it. So this is the Monogram. As you can see, the details are really excellent. I cannot stress enough that for Dior Book Tote, it is all stitches. You can see the details of every single of them. They are all stitches. They are made of fabric. They are not leather. The only part of this that is leather is the interior. If you carefully see the logo here, that is the only leather. This is made of leather, and the one that I have made in Italy, and I will assume there is a serial number at the bottom, which I have to turn upside down to showcase it. There you go. So that is the only part of the book tote that is leather. The rest of it are all fabric. But the amazing part of this book tote is the inside. Not many people are able to see the inside if you don't own one, but you can always go to a Dior boutique and have a look. The inside, it's just spectacular. The stitches actually showcase the throughout the entire book tote, including the inside. You can see from the inside the Christian Dior logo, and if you personalize it, your name will show here, but it is like a mirror image, same as the name Christian Dior. It's like a mirror image, and obviously the front has that Christian Dior Paris, and it just goes all around it. And this is where you are able to personalize your name, which I am really serious of doing it. And this is the side, and this is also the other side. So as you can see, the Dior Book Tote, the Monogram itself, it is all very well made. You can see it is very well, it just have a feel of it. You can see the bumpness of all the D, the bump, and it's just small little details that make this a very unique, and I would say it is one of the best made bag tote ever produced because of the details of it. Also, because of the details, it also classified as a con because it is made of fabric. The wear and tear is going to show, and if you don't take good care of it, in a couple of years time you will see many wear and tear in the corners and everything. But I do hope that it doesn't go to that extent. I've only had this book tote for more than 6 months, for half a year, and I haven't actually been using much of it, so it is in pristine conditions. But I can only imagine within a year or two it will actually show a little bit of wear and tear. Hopefully it is not as drastic as what I fear it is. Another thing I would like to point out is it is common to have that stitches. I don't know whether you can see that. There is a red stitches all throughout the top, first inch from the top. That is common because if you look on the inside, the double layer actually goes forward. So the upper part of that, there are 2 layers of the fabric, and then that's 1 layer of the fabric. So that is the reasons why you see that, because when they flap it downwards, they have to stitch it up. So all book tote will have that. It goes all around it because they have to stitch the flap that goes inwards for the double layer. And obviously you see all these stitches that goes around it to close up the back itself to sustain the structure. Speaking of structure itself, it is something that you need to get an insert, because the book tote, you can fold it up like that and just keep it in the box if you're not going to use it to make some rooms. However, in time it will go towards that, and that is another reason why you need to have an insert, because you don't want the book tote to lose the structure. So I am going to purchase a couple of insert, probably from Samoga, which is highly recommended by a lot of the YouTubers. So I'm going to look into that just to maintain the structure of it. It is something that you need to get if you are 100% sure keeping the book tote, which in this case I am. So yes, I decided to purchase that, and I actually saw a few people use this as the shopping tote for grocery, and it is a very luxurious item that you use, handbag that you use for grocery shopping, because you can put a lot of grocery in there. So it is something that you might want to consider instead of using plastic bag. And if you are looking for a permanent but a little bit expensive kind of shopping bag, you can always consider the Dior Book Tote, even though it is very expensive for a shopping bag. But I've seen a few people actually doing that. Moving forward, I would like to showcase the second one that I have, which is the Flamingo. This is a seasonal item. Let me just put this aside. This is a seasonal book tote. Believe it or not, this was actually my first book tote, which I purchased from the Dior boutique. Speaking of which, let me just get the receipt. All 3 of my book tote were purchased from the Dior boutique, and I can show you the price. It is retail for 3,800 Canadian dollars plus the tax. So it is retail for 4,000 well, I've paid 4,000, just under 4,300, which include the tax. But the retail recommended price is 3,800 Canadian dollars, and this was purchased from the new flagship Dior boutique in downtown Toronto, which is the largest boutique in North America, the largest Dior boutique in North America. It has 2 stories, and I was lucky enough to actually found this in there. And apparently the New York Manhattan boutique, after they are doing renovations, that's going to be bigger than Toronto. But in the meantime, Toronto boutique, the one in downtown, it is the largest in North America, and I purchased it from there. And as you can see, the details of the flamingo, it is stunning. Just the color combination itself, it just makes it stunning. And you can see the bump of all the trees and the leaf. You can feel the stitches, the bump, so you know for sure that this is carefully stitched on. And that's the corners, and this is the back of it. The back of it will be exactly the same as the front. If you look at it, it is exactly the same as back and front. The only difference is there is a Christian Dior logo at the front. The back does not have that. It will leave some space for you to personalize your name. And I was told that it's to get it personalized, you need to pay 300 Canadian dollars. And I will send it to US, to New York, to do it if you're in North America. And that's the other side. And look at the bottom of the base of it. It just looks stunning. So I'm going to show you the inside. Again, this is made in Italy, and this part of it is the only leather that is. And the inside of this flamingo, it just looks amazing. It looks like a jungle. And there is a Syria coat, which is that one there. So moving on to, actually before I do that, I would like to show you the price for this one, because the monogram one is cheaper, slightly cheaper than the flamingo one, than the seasonal one. So for the monogram book tote, I purchased it from Dior Boutique at Saks Avenue, Saks Fifth, and I purchased it. Let me just show you. So let me just see if I can show you the receipt. So that's where I purchased it from, Saks Fifth Avenue, Eaton Center at Dior Boutique, Dior handbag. The monogram one is 3,400 Canadian, and this is actually cheaper than the flamingo one. The flamingo one, which is seasonal, and it is 400 Canadian dollars more expensive, but I'm not sure if Dior actually did a price adjustment, because I purchased this more than 6 months ago. And let me just show you my third and final one. This is my third and final Dior Book Tote, the smaller one. This is the small book tote. They do have another smaller one, which is the mini book tote, which is just that small. And that one is more like extremely small. I don't find that practical for my use, but I much prefer the small one. So in terms of the book tote size, they now have the regular size, the small size, and the micro or the mini one, which is just like that. Imagine the whole Christian Dior, just like that. So this is the small book tote, which is more practical, and this was actually from the Cruise Collections 2020, and it is the Phoenix, and they do have the Lady Dior with that Phoenix symbol as well. I've actually seen the Lady Dior versions of it. And this book tote, let me see if I can show you. It is just spectacular. I was so lucky to actually found this, and my SA actually contacted me, and that's the base. that they have a new book tote, so I managed to get this on the second day it was released. And there were 2 of these, so I got a chance to choose which one. And that's the other side. And this is the back. Again, the back and the front, it's always going to be the same without the logo. It's always going to be the same. And let me show you the inside of this. Again, I will need to get an insert, because otherwise the back will just collapse into that shade. So I will definitely need to get an insert to make it more structured. And let me just show you the inside of this. And that's made in Italy. And that's the serial number. And I have to do a comparison with that. So in terms of I'm just going to put it up like that. It's easier for you to see. So that's the size differences in terms of the height. Just make sure. Yep. So that's the size differences. And that's the length from here to here. I would say about 1.5 inches. Whereas the height, I would say about 2 inch or 2.5 inch. So it is substantially smaller than the regular book tote. However, even the width, it is a little bit smaller. It's easy if I do it that way. It's just about 1/2 inch thinner. However, the handle itself, which is the most important, because I believe a lot of people are trying to use this all the way to tuck in on their armpit. So the handle itself, it is equally large. See how the length of the small book tote and the regular larger book tote are the same, so you don't have to worry about having the smaller book tote, but with the smaller hole here to go through all the way, it is actually the same, which is very good for Dior to actually do that. So regardless whether you purchase the smaller one or the bigger one, you should be able to have the same hole to use for your hands. And let me just show you finally the price of this. I'm just gonna grab the receipt. Again, I purchased this from the Dior boutique at Saks Fifth Avenue at Eaton Center, because my SA is from there, and because this is actually not the Monogram one, so it will be priced a little bit higher than the Monogram one. So I actually purchased this for 3,600 Canadian dollars. So if you include the tax, it is close to 4,000. I actually purchased this at the beginning of this year, but as you can see itself, it is a little bit more expensive than the Monogram, which is retail for 3,400 with the largest, and it is just somewhere in between those two at 3,600. Bear in mind, this is the smaller size. So the price differences between the small and the regular size is not much. It is only a couple of $100, but it is depending on your preference, and also depending on whether you have a lot of things to put. But once again, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully this helps to make your decision if you're gonna go for the book tote or not. And please stay safe.